What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sapphire here. I know I haven't made a video in a really long time, so I wanted to do something really fun. I've been watching all of these TBR Jars pick my August reads, July reads, June reads videos, and I really wanted to make one because last week I actually went to a book warehouse and I purchased like 16 books. So my TBR has grown and I really just don't know what I want to read, so I thought this would be a really fun way to choose what books I want to read because I am so indecisive. So you're probably thinking, where the heck is your TBR jar? It is right here. So I went to B&M and I got this jar for £2.50 and I just filled it up with some prompts. So if you don't know what a TBR jar is, it stands for to be read, and essentially it is a jar that has either books that you want to read or it has prompts to help you choose what book you want to read. It's the 10th of August. I've read 2 books already this month. I want to choose another 6. I don't know if I'm gonna read all 6, but I definitely want to choose another 6 books to try and read. I also have books on my Kindle, so I'm going to be choosing from my Kindle as well. So let's get into this video. The first prompt. Okay, so the first prompt is a book with a couple on the cover. So these are all the books that I'm going to be choosing from, and then I also have books on my Kindle. This has a couple. This also has a couple. This also has a couple. This also... Okay, I have 4 books. I have 4 books here that all have a couple on the cover. These are all books that I've recently purchased. So I have Good Girl Complex, When in Rome, Until I Met You, and The True Love Experiment. Okay, so the book I've selected is The Good Girl Complex. So it says she does everything right, so what could go wrong? Mackenzie McCabot is a people pleaser. It's exhausting, really always following the rules. She has dreams of her own, but to please her parents she moves to the beachside town of Avalon Bay to get her college degree. 20-year-old Mac has plenty of practice suppressing her wilder impulses, but when she meets local bad boy Cooper Hartley, that ability is suddenly tested. So we have a good girl and a bad boy. What could go wrong? This is definitely something that I'm interested in reading. It was actually one of the first books I picked up when I went to the book warehouse, which is called 66 Books. So yeah, this is gonna be my first pick. Next, we have a Kindle Unlimited read. The reason why I wanted to include a prompt like that is because I really want to get into reading Kindle Unlimited books because they are definitely much more cost effective than buying so many books, and I want to share the Kindle Unlimited reads because I don't think a lot of people talk about Kindle Unlimited enough. So some of the books I have on my Kindle Unlimited, I have The Lost Bookshop, Daisy Hates, The Sweet Life, Flawless by Elsie Silver, Love Redesigned. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with The Lost Bookshop. I don't actually know what it's about. Okay, so The Lost Bookshop. It says, the thing about books, she said, is that they help you to imagine a life bigger and better than you could ever dream of. On a quiet street in Dublin, a lost bookshop is waiting to be found. For too long, Opaline, Martha and Henry have been the side characters in their own lives. But when a vanishing bookshop casts its spell, these 3 unsuspecting strangers will discover that their own stories are every bit as extraordinary as the one found in the pages of their beloved books. That is definitely something I'm interested in reading. I saw it on another YouTube video and the way it was described was something that I thought would be really fun to read. I've not read a book like that before. Okay, we had a quick interlude because my mum just disturbed me, but let's pick. I already had that one in my hand. Prompt number 3. Prompt number 3 is a book with black on the cover. So we're gonna go to this end of the shelf. I have The Killing Kind, Reckless, Dance of Thieves, The Unwilling, and The Mother. And then there's also A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I'm gonna go with The Killing Kind by Chris Holm, and it says bad men make good killers. So Michael Hendricks is not a good man. He doesn't deserve a good life, but he is very good at his job. He's the killing kind. He knows he's a bad person, but he still has a code. He doesn't work for anyone but himself, and he never kills civilians. He only hits hitters. It's not a bad way to make a living, but it's a great way to make enemies. And now the FBI and the mafia have Hendricks in their sights. He's about to learn just how good he really is. So again, I also purchased this book from the book warehouse, and I saw it and I was like, why do I know this book? Why do I know this book? I know this book because the first book I read that kind of dropped me into the world of reading was actually called The Killing Kind, which is here. But this was about by Jane Casey, and this was about a woman who had a stalker, and there was also someone that was set out to kill her, and her stalker basically said he would help her to figure out who the person was, and she had to either trust her stalker or essentially go on it by herself but then potentially be killed. It was a really interesting book, and when I picked up this book I was thinking of this book, and I bought it anyways because I was like, the cover doesn't look like something I've seen before. But then I got home and I saw this and I was like, oh okay, I already have a book with the same name. So The Killing Kind is my third pick. I'm actually excited to read that because I haven't read a thriller in a really long time. So I feel like that would be super fun. So book number 4. Let's just shake it up a bit because okay. So book number 4 is A Small Town Romance. This is a bit challenging for me. So I know there's Flawless by Elsie Silver, which is on Kindle Unlimited. Is a small town romance, I believe. It's about cowboys, I think. Oh, here we go, Wild Love. Elsie Silver is literally like the small town romance queen. So I actually bought this book from the works last week because I've seen a lot of good reviews about it. So it's called Wild Love. It's by Elsie Silver, and it says she's been driving him wild for years, the kind of wild that comes with wanting your best friend's little sister and knowing you can't have her. Forbes may have labelled Ford Grant the world's hottest billionaire, but all he cares about is escaping the press and opening a recording studio in the gorgeous small town Rose Hill. Something that comes to a screeching halt when he ends up face to face with a young girl who claims he's her biological father. Ooh, you the daddy. After years of living in the city, Rosie comes back into town like a storm. Beautiful, messy and chaotic. One wide-eyed, desperate plea for a job is all it takes for Ford to hire her. He vows to keep her at arm's length, but with her, verbal sparring is a type of foreplay, friction that soon turns it to blistering heat. Ooh. What do they call this? Forbidden love. They shouldn't be going with each other, but we all know what's going to happen. They're probably going to get together. But I've heard really good reviews. This book is a chunky monkey though. It's 455 pages. So I'm going to add that to the list. So book number 5. Oh, I have like a few in my hands. Okay. The last book I bought. Okay, the last book I bought. Okay, the last books I bought was Reckless and Wild Love, but obviously I can't read Reckless because it's part of a series. But on the same day, I literally bought all of these books on the shelf. No, I bought like most of these books. Okay, let's do this. The Love Wager. So I picked up this book because I saw it all over Booktok, and it was again in the book warehouse where I purchased some books, and it is The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. So it says, after yet another disastrous date, Hallie Piper decides it's time to grow up. She gets a new apartment, a new haircut and a new wardrobe, but when she logs into an app to find new love, she matches with none other Jack, the guy the wrong kind of sparks had flown with just weeks earlier. Agreeing that they are absolutely not interested in each other, Jack and Hallie realize that they're each other's perfect wing person and join forces in their searches for the one. They even place a wager on who can find romance first, but when they agree to be each other's fake dates for a wedding, all bets are off, because as they pretend to be a couple, they struggle to remember why dating for real was a bad idea to begin with. Ooh. So we have friends to lovers, we have fake dating, you know, all the tropes that I actually don't know the names of them, but I hear them all the time. Okay, let it be a good one. What? Damn. Okay, the last one is over 400 pages. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go with a fantasy book because all fantasy books are over 400 pages. I bought Dance with Thieves, which is, let's see, how many pages is this? Jesus, 505 pages. We have Dance with Thieves. I'm actually gonna look at my Kindle to see if I have any on there, because I think I downloaded some as well. I have A Court of Thorns and Roses. I read the first one. I also have the second one, so A Court of Mist and Fury, but I'm actually 47%. When did I start reading this book? I'm 47% finished with that, so I should probably finish that. But let's find a new book. A brilliant fantasy, so let's see what Dance of Thieves is about. So, hold on, no matter what you have to do, survive, no matter who you have to kill. A formidable outlaw family that claims to be the first among nations. A son destined to lead, thrust suddenly into power. 3 fierce young women of the Rattan, the Queen's premier guard. A legendary street thief leading a mission determined to prove herself. Oh yes, this sounds a bit like a bit of me. Okay, so the last prompt was a book that is over 400 pages. I have chosen Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Again, I bought this from the Book Warehouse. I know a lot of people have read this and a lot of people love it. And I think it's a duology. I believe there's a second one. I think it's called Vow Thieves. Don't hold me to that. But as soon as I saw a girl with this, I literally went running around the Book Warehouse to find the book. So this is going to be my 6th read. A bit sad that I only have one Kindle read, because I actually prefer reading on my Kindle because it's easier at night. Let me show you a hack before I show you all these books. If anyone has one of these lights and you read in your room at night time, if you literally hook this light to your book, you can see literally everything. So if you don't have a book light, because I was actually going to go on Amazon and buy a reading light, one of these phone lights are really good. So here's the 6 books. To summarize, we have The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods, which is available on Kindle Unlimited. I have Lynn Painter's The Love Wager, Wild Love by Elsie Silver, The Killing Kind by Chris Holm, Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. I've never read an Elle Kennedy book before. And Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. So actually, all of these authors, I don't think I've read a book from any of these authors. So these are the books I'm going to be reading this month. They're all new authors to me. I've never read any of these, but I think this should be fun. It's definitely going to be really challenging because I have 3 weeks left of August and this book alone is 500 pages. So I'm gonna have to start reading. I'm actually gonna start reading when I get home. I'm watching It Ends With Us today, so I will be giving a cheeky review on my TikTok. If you haven't followed me there, which you probably haven't because it's new, it is at Sapph's Bookshelf, and I will be posting reading vlogs. I'll be posting my reviews, my TBRs, all of that jazz, all those amazing book talky things will definitely be up on my Booktok, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. But that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, definitely comment some of the books that you're reading down below so I can add them to my TBR. If you want to see some reading vlogs, let me know, because I will definitely be doing them anyways. Whether you want to see them or not, they're gonna show up on this channel. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in my next video.